Hello folks and welcome back to another October exploration of relatively inexpensive games on Steam. This is Metro Manager LA, and if you know anything about me, you know that I love going through and managing trains in games. So let's go ahead and start this one up. We're just going to go through and play this on casual. We could play it on normal. I don't know why my high scores are wiped out there, but I have better scores than that. Oh, it's because I just reinstalled the game and wiped out all my stuff. But basically, we are in charge of building a metro system for LA, and we have our satisfaction score, and we need to make sure that we are able to complete different ventures here. So you can see that we need to connect Burbank to downtown LA. DTLA is downtown LA, and we have a reward for doing so. We can cycle through various different objectives, and sure, we're going to pick one here. Let's go LAX to downtown Atlanta. So we'll select that. And essentially what you have here is you can click on a station. And then once you do that, you don't actually have to do that, but you have to click on the metro lines. We're going to click to add a station. I want to add it onto downtown Atlanta. And then all of the kind of places connected to that, all of the nodes or roads that are connected to that, you can use to make a station. So we want to connect this to South Central because we're trying to get down all the way to LAX. And we have 8 rounds to do so. So we're going to do that. And then when we're ready, we'll click on start next round. And you'll see that our trains, it's all one. I don't know if it's a train or a bus, actually. I can't really tell, at least in this one. Once we expand the trains, you'll see that it's a train. But you can see that we're going through transporting all of our people. And we have our time to our next route. You can see our capacity is also kind of small because we're not delivering a lot of people between those two things. But this leads to my only problem with this game. Right now, we have to wait. We don't have any options. We have the menu, we have the trains. We can see easily there, which we have a bunch of locked things. We can unlock things as we go forward here. We have guides and controls, which are not all that complicated. In the basic version of this game, the normal version, you don't have to worry about maintenance or security. If you want to up your level and go through a little more, you can. There are little stars there on South Central just a second ago. That means you're going to see increased popularity. And you can see this is about as close to zoomed in as I can get. But that's kind of it. We've completed our round. Our time is up. And we have a couple options. We can expand our train lines. So I'm going to click on South Central here. Oh, I have to click on the blue first. I'm sorry. So I'll go through and we'll go South Central. Hit our little plus sign. And we can choose any of the things connected to that. I think we're going down to Florence, and then Westmont, and then to Inglewood, and then to LA, or LAX. So you'll see that we have that. And right above our blue line here, we have this little train. We can unlock a second train. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we should have 2 trains. You can see there's a grayed out one in Florence, and then we have another one in downtown Atlanta. When we start our next round, we have 2 trains, so we've doubled our capacity. We've also increased our station count by 50%. And hopefully this bar is going to fill up just that much faster. Again, with this game, there are no ways to speed up. This counter is going to be the same no matter what you do. So that's my first issue with this game, is that kind of seems to be not that much fun to watch the trains go, like, especially because I can't do anything to actively change. If I could intervene and say, oh, well, I need another train here and add that on, but there's nothing that I can do right now to change anything. So this timing seems a little unnecessary. The only other problem I have is occasionally I'll go through and I'll complete a goal before the remaining rounds, and I can't do anything. I'll still lose. Even though I've completed the goal, I randomly will still lose. There has been an update to this game since I've first played it, and that seems to have been taken care of. But my main issue is just that it takes really long time to go through and do anything here. So let's go ahead and add on a train line to that. We're going to go from here down to Westmont. So we have that in there now. And if I go to trains, you can see that I have our 2 trains, and I can unlock for $25 or 25 points as far as that. If I unlock this, let me scroll up to our train here. If I unlock our first train's capacity, it's going to add a second line or second car for us. And that's where you start getting that, like, hey, these are probably trains, not buses. You can add a maximum of 3 cars per train, and they're going to go through and do their thing. There's not really an indication on how full these are. You'll get a notification if they're too full, but I don't know how full this one is. Like, was that worth the money or not? I honestly don't know, because there's no way for me to know that in this game. But again, we're just going through building metro lines, and it's a pretty simple idea as far as the game goes. You have your spot, you connect them to the next one, and you do one per turn. I'm just not a big fan that we have this kind of time thing that we can't intervene or do anything about. So it doesn't matter that it's time, because I can't see it do, or I can't do anything to correct my problems at the time. Ooh, look at that. We got a bonus there for completing that, so that's good. All right, we've got that. So we're going to go through and add on our train. Get to go to Inglewood. You can see we're at 35 before we're at 25 because we got our extra 10. And then for blue train number 2, I'm going to unlock that and we'll get that. We can see we have a whole bunch more colors that we can do. This reminds me of a really cheap version of like Mini Metro, or what's the other one that the company makes? Polo Dinosaur, I remember, is the name of the company, but I can't remember the other game they make. But you go through and you can kind of add metro lines or add car lines or road lines. Mini Motorways, that's it. Mini Motorways is awesome. If you ever want to play a game that's just fun and random and incredibly difficult over time, Mini Motorways or Mini Metro is a really fun, just pick me up kind of game. With this one, we're going to go through. We're going to complete our next line here after our timer goes up. So we're going to get Inglewood over to LAX. And then we'll have downtown Atlanta connected with a metro system to the airport, which sounds great, especially because the few times I've been to LA, that doesn't seem to be a thing that you can do easily, especially because downtown LA is forever. Well, first off, LA is enormous. If you've ever been to LA, it just goes on forever. And then the metro or lack of metro is slightly concerning. But we're just about here, down round 4. We still have 4 rounds remaining to complete this. We're just going to knock this out here real fast. We'll connect Inglewood to LAX. There we go. We got our prize. Our objective has been completed. And now we have that. My last complaint with this game. So I have 3 main complaints with this game. 1, again, we can't speed it up. Number 2, it occasionally doesn't read that you completed the line, and that's super frustrating for whatever reason. That's mostly been fixed. But number 3, we had moves remaining. We still had 4 rounds remaining, and it doesn't save that for us. So that's kind of frustrating. So we can go downtown Atlanta to Santa Monica. We can go down to Long Beach, which is all the way down there. Or we can go Burbank to Pasadena. Oh, that one. Well, why would I not pick that? That's an easy one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll select that, although you can see the reward is significantly less. But we're going to select that. So that's going to allow us to build a new line, which is the red line. Yeah, I know. Oh, wait, we have to start it with an existing station. That's right. So we have to go up to there. That's the problem, is that we have to build an existing line from there. So that part's kind of annoying because it doesn't necessarily matter. But we're able to go through and get that set up. And we're going to go through there. And it's going to do its thing with the timer and all of that. But this is a fun little game. There's quirks. It's sometimes frustrating. It's sometimes annoying. Like, this doesn't make sense that I have to build it to this existing route. But whatever. It's not too big of a deal. So this has been Metro Manager LA. It's a game that looked pretty neat. I'm not entirely sold on it, but it's fun to jump into. And then once you get annoyed, you can jump out of it. And it's not a big deal. And that's kind of how I play this game, is that I can go through and see it there. Oh, we have an event going on at this station. You can see little stars coming out of it. So Florence, there's an event or something happening, but that's all there is. And you also can't build additional trains on any of the lines. So once your train is, once you have your 2 trains, that's it. You can expand them a little bit, but after that, those trains are done. And also, if you take a look here, we have the red and blue. Basically, once you use up all of your lines, you basically have to recycle some of the existing lines to build out more, and it just kind of goes on forever. It's a fun game. You can sink some time into it. I've probably put about 10 to 15 hours or so in this game, and it's cool, but not my favorite. It's just one of those ones that I jump into randomly and hope that they've made some updates and that there's been some changes, but that hasn't really been the case other than making sure it counts my completed lines. So that's a real quick kind of playthrough of Metro Manager LA. I'm hoping for a better Metro Manager. I have a couple of things that I have planned that I've been looking at, but I'll talk about those down the road. Folks, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you next week for some new games.